What's up guys, Mike, IronTrap Garage. We are starting out a week in the life of a little bit different. We have a 1,500 mile road trip that we're leaving on tomorrow. Matt's car, blue Volkswagen, is in my trailer. So I need to hook up to it, air the tires up, air the suspension up because it is on bags, put it in my garage. Fired up my truck, started to move it, and I heard arcing. So I'm gonna show you what we got going on and what I need to do. So I gotta do coil packs on this thing. It is Sunday around lunchtime. Doesn't sound like it's doing it right now. Oh, there it is. Sounds like a bad lifter. So you can kind of hear in the background. I'll flip you around, see if we can see it. Doesn't want to do it right now. I heard it doing it and it just went away. But I have a clip I can drop in. Oh. It like does it sporadically. I have a clip I'll drop in of it just arcing everywhere. So I'm gonna pull it. It doesn't fit in my garage, but get the front end in at least because it's gonna rain at some point today. So guess I'm doing coil packs. I bought all 8 just because they just keep going. They'll eventually just all go bad. I gotta pull the air cleaner off and then I can just bang out all 8 of them real quick. So get this in the garage, get to work. Matt's enjoying his Sunday off. He has a photo shoot at the shop today with one of the local pinup photographers. So he's getting to enjoy and relax. I am slaving away on my pickup truck before we leave. So get this in, get it fixed, get the car unloaded, then hopefully leaving at like 3 in the morning, be on the road, headed west. All right, so coil packs changed. I actually got those done in about an hour, which is pretty good. Car is obviously out. So I just checked tire pressure on the trailer, threw some tools in, some straps. Tomorrow at the shop, I'll grab some stuff from the warehouse. We should be good. I got the spare loaded in the truck, so get up at 2:30 in the morning, drive to Matt's and head on west. Long drive, but you gotta chase them when you can. So I'll try and get some sleep tonight, eat a good dinner, and put lots of miles on it. What do you give it?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I got the chili rellenos. I would give it a 7.5 out of 10.
That's pretty good.
It was pretty good. The salsa was different, thin, but had the perfect spice. I would say I give that a.
It was a good dinner after a long day of driving and a little bit of hard work.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of hard work, but it was a long day of driving. And we're gonna go just a little bit longer.
Try not to fall asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, and just get ourselves a little closer to home because we have to book it home because we left all our responsibilities at home to go chase old cars. What's new?
Yeah.
So we got to get back, but yeah, it was been a long day.
All right, so this is our hard work. We didn't really film much. There'll be a full video out on this stuff, but there's some sort of Model A in there.
Model A Roadster, and then,
we don't want to show too much of that.
But we got a bonus.
There's something in the bed of the truck.
Got a bonus body with the Model A, another body, and
It's a spare for when this one breaks.
yeah, it's the upgraded model for the Model A Roadster. So good fun.
We can't put a cat in the truck.
Why not? Nope. She's thinking about it.
it's gonna end up in our truck. All right, so we made it to what state last night?
He's gonna run in.
We made it to what, Indiana?
Indiana.
We're now in Ohio.
Ohio. Slept a little bit of us.
We got like 8 hours.
Yeah. You probably can't even see me.
Oh, you can. Just a nice moonlit
Yeah.
backdrop.
It's a little dark. We got a 8-hour drive home. And we gotta unload all this crap and figure out where we're gonna put it.
We got space.
A little bit of space, not a lot, but we'll get creative.
Another beautiful drive across Ohio.
Yeah, great. Hey guys, it is, what day is today? I don't even know. Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, so Mike and I had a, what we like to call a bomb run, so it's just a nickname I meant. Basically, it's like you're running nonstop somewhere to get something, and you turn around and you run back, and it's just like you're just as quick as you can, in and out, get it done, and get back. So we left, like you guys saw, Monday morning around 3 a.m. We left. We got into our location around in the Midwest around like 2:30 or 3, something like that. Loaded in a couple hours, back on the road. Mike drove another 4 hours that evening, and then I drove the next day, basically the rest of the way home, so 9 hours or so home. Got home just in time that I could pick Moon up. Moon had his operation. Unfortunately, when this stuff pops up, got to move stuff around. So Kate is very helpful with my crazy schedule. She dropped Moon off at the vet Tuesday morning. I picked Moon up. He is recovering. Last night was a little rough with coming off anesthesia and all that stuff, but he's this morning seems to be doing a little better. Unfortunately, because of all his stitches and how rowdy, even though Moon's like 9 or 10 now, he's still very much a puppy and rowdy, so we have to keep him in the house with the cone on. Can't really have people around him too much because he'll get very excited and he has stitches and all that. So that's what's going on with that. So all that stuff we got yesterday, we now have to go through today because we just dumped it all. It was such a long, crazy trip that, trying to find my key here. Mike, Steve, and I just unloaded everything and dumped it in the building. The building is getting very full very quickly, especially when you're not organized with stuff. So get this opened up. So I got to go through all this stuff today. We'll do like our normal video. We didn't get to film a lot. It was super windy, and Mike and I just were trying to get everything loaded, and we were doing it basically by ourselves. Didn't have really much help, which we didn't need a lot of help. It just takes a lot of time, but we kind of just dumped everything here. So little sneak peek. Got a bunch of stuff back there. I was also able to retrieve all my stuff from the Mecum auction that they had a location at their main warehouse in Wisconsin. So we got all that stuff too. So we're gonna go through all that in the videos. Also, Evan got a new project over there. It's a dirt bike from our buddy Jason that he made a deal on, so that my brother's coming to pick that up today. And yeah, so we have a busy day. I'm also going to try and get some work done on some car stuff. Got a lot of craziness going on. It's a little ridiculous right now. So that's a little bit of what's going on. The rest of this week, we're going to try and knock out. Steve's going to try and knock out most of the wiring on Mike's car while we're running around. Mike has a crap ton of packages. Anytime we disappear for like a day or two like this, especially when it's unexpected, Mike is behind the 8 ball. So he probably has, I haven't looked at the eBay or our website, but yeah, I bet he has 70 to 100 packages by the time the end of today goes if he doesn't get caught up. So it's going to be a little busy for him. and I'm going to try and go through some of this stuff. And then I'm also trying to get the last of the work done on the Mercury, so I got to get back on that this week. So I got to do stuff in the front end of that, last major modification. So I'm going to try, if I don't have too many distractions, to get some of that knocked out this week. So that's what's going on. We're going to get busy, and we got a lot to do and catch up on.
So it's out of the way enough that we can get ready, set, go. Oh. Watch your toes. Which way do you want it?
Hold on, sit down. Ooh, what the hell is that? Oh, probably the fucking
Screws?
Oh, we might want to cut them before we put it up there because they're going to dig into the wood. Sure, just set it up. Let me get.
Which way do you think will look better?
Oh, that's pretty ugly.
Yeah, that I think the passenger side.
Oh, that's got it too, but it's just, it's bland, it's sanded out a little less.
I think it'll look cool passenger side that way.
Driver's side, that way you're saying?
Or nose that way.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back some. This is big.
I figured the least amount of driving we do
Yeah, it's
on the forklift.
pretty sturdy.
Yeah, gonna go. Doing a receiver drive. That way you can be mad at someone if it falls off.
Yeah, I mean, I can pick it up. I don't care. It's not so big, 'cause you know, I can steady it till it gets. And even if you rocking it, I'm not gonna rock it around.
If you want to move that antifreeze fan,
off the pallet rack and you put a roadster body up there.
I need some big fork extensions for that.
Oh, we could pick it up once it's up here. Do you want to come over to here? Because with all the pallets here, you don't walk here as much as over there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Favor this side always. Or does it need to be centered on that? Hard to say. I mean, center would probably be cooler.
Okay.
More? Yeah, you want the door gap over the center of the door, so that. Right? Oop, that's just the hair too far. Uh-oh. Right there. Right there. And just look if it's square to the.
What is up? It is Thursday. Getting a little bit of a later start today. I had to drop off that pallet of banger engines that were in the bed of my truck. Had to take them to a freight terminal to ship to our friend Mitch, who's up in Maine. They will hopefully be getting delivered in a day or two. That's the beauty of freight. Sometimes, within 8 to 10 hours, it's almost next day arrival at the local hub. So those are headed off today. I need to build a pallet for a pair of 46/8 rear fenders that we sold. Some of that NOS stuff. What else do I got going on? I got to pull out an NOS hood that we sold. Someone's picking up locally. And then the big thing is I'm gonna try and get through the parts that came with this Roadster, this Model A Roadster. What I've been trying to do with these smaller estates like truckloads or that pile of NOS body panels is get through all those parts as quick as possible. That way it's done. They're put away. A lot of times, a lot of those parts are just inventory we already have. So they just need to be numbered and put away. So I'm trying to get better at blasting through that stuff right away so we don't have these small random piles from different estates. So a bunch of random stuff to do today. The big thing is getting those 46/8 fenders palletized so they can go out. They were bought at the end of last week, but with all the craziness of running to the Midwest, I got to get them done. So go dig for some pallets I can use, build a pallet, band them, wrap them, send them on their way. So just another crazy day here at IronTrap. This is way better.
The acoustics sound great.
They sound good on here, man. It really does sound good in here.
It's not bad in here. You can
We hosted IronTrap.
Could
I
rent
think we're
this
gonna
space.
have like a show in here or something.
Yeah.
Put the band fucking right there.
Yeah, that would be actually,
Yeah.
that would be actually sick.
You know, we should have done that in the old building. That thing probably had great acoustics for a
Oh,
show.
the warehouse?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we've been talking about doing like an open house type thing once a year, so
That would be
that
really,
would be kind of
really
cool.
cool.
That would be a good band spot, actually.
Yeah.
Great band spot.
So we talked about doing community center next door is super friendly. Like if you ever want to have an event, just let us know. You can borrow the parking lot,
Dude,
park hot rods, whatever. So
I mean, with your guys' reach, you could get the best of the best. You know,
We were just gonna have like
even
a-
like just a family, like a friends and family kind
yeah,
of
we
thing.
were just gonna do something like that.
Yeah.
One guy we know, Zach Sir, has a
Oh, yeah.
picnic like before the showdown every year
Yeah.
on Friday. It's just word of mouth. It might be 50 cars or so, but
Yeah.
it's always a really good time kind of
Yeah.
thing. So we're thinking the same thing where it would just be kind of word of mouth thing.
Yeah,
Have
for
friends
sure.
come by.
Yeah, for
sure.
Cook some hot dogs and hamburgers and stuff.
Yeah.
Matt, this is only 9 years older than the 32.
Holy crap.
1941.
So did you have it engraved or it was done?
I had all that done. It looked like that before. Probably worse. Probably looked like the crappy Olay. But I had to get it I played it for a long time like that, but then I just got it redone. Dipped it in it's like 24 karat gold. But yeah, 1941, like World War, like
Do you know any history of it?
nah, that's the hard thing with these things. They're not. There's a serial number, but you don't know how
Unless
many
it came
people
from the
played it.
actual dude.
Unless you bought now they make all these things with like water pressure, but they used to do it like hand hammered with an anvil and
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
torch and like
Wow.
they had different forms for the bell and everything like that. Wow. So, but now they use water pressure to cut the metal in it, and like you could tell if you if you hit his bell and my bell, it like sounds like tin. But if you hit like a new horn, it goes like ding. And you can tell the metal's thinner, the metal's not as
Really?
good. Well, it's the same thing with old cars, right? The metal now is not as good as the old metal.
And that thing's
This is
That's a
this
54,
Is, this
he
is a
said.
54, and I was telling Brian that it was.
It's really rare too.
I don't know. There's his name's Frank and Marcia. They're like Marcia. They go to Bonneville. They're from up my way. They're Reading people.
yeah.
So Frank, I had no idea was a musician. Years ago, I went over and I bought a transmission from him.
Okay.
And we got talking about music. He's like, yeah. He's like, I used to play saxophone, you know. And so, long story short, he did. And he still had his horn, and this was it. And he stopped playing because when you play saxophone, you got bigger teeth on the mouthpiece, and he had teeth problems when he was younger. Couldn't play anymore.
Jeez.
So it just sat in his closet.
Oh my god.
And so he's like, yeah. He's like, do you want to see my old saxophone? And I said, sure. So like this particular year and model horn, they have a very distinct case. The color, it's almost like guys who are guitar guys. You see like a 1954 Stratocaster. It's got that case.
Yeah.
So he came from the back room with like the saxophone version of that case.
You're like,
And I was just like, holy shit! I'm like, it can't be, you know.
no way.
So then I open up the case and I saw, oh, it's an old Selmer, you know, and these were, you know, kind of engraved like by hand, and it's all hand done with special tools. So they started making these in 54, and you can tell by the serial number, you know, the age, and they made them from like 54 to like 74, and so long story short, this was a first year production Mark VI, and then the ones I found out later that were really special when they made them, they stamped the top of the neck with this kind of snaky looking S kind of shape.
I've never seen a Marxist with that on.
The other, regular Mark VI just it almost looks like a Superman S, you know, but this has like a scrolly.
fancy.
So
They probably did that by hand. You think they stamped that?
no, I don't. You know, this I don't know. That's a good question, but yeah. So long story short, so Frank said to me, he's like, I'm like losing my shit over it. When I'm looking at it, you know? And he was like, I bet you'd like to have that horn. And I said, yeah. He's like, well, I'll tell you what. He's like, I always wanted to learn. Now this is a car body. I had no idea he was a musician, you know. And he's like, I'll tell you what. He's like, I've always wanted to play upright bass. If you could find me an upright bass, I'll trade you even up for the saxophone.
Get the heck
Wow.
out.
So I called up the local string guy who's really good, repair guy, dealer. I told him the whole story. I'm like, I need something decent. I'm like, this horn is like serious. So I got like a decent bass, and I traded the guy even up, and I've had this for about 15 years.
Wow.
And so now, you know, if I have something on Facebook where I post it, I'll like send it to him. You know,
You ever jam with him on the bass now?
we haven't yet. That's like on the bucket list.
Really?
But yeah, I've had this for 15 years, and
It was already all engraved and everything?
yeah. So
kidding.
when this came from the factory, everything was like this. You know, it's basically like his trumpet. They make the instrument, they polish it, and then it's almost like clear coat they put over top of it, like a
Yeah,
lacquer.
like lacquer it, yeah.
And then some of the older instruments, as it ages, it gets this kind of brownish kind
Yeah.
of, you know,
So
hue
they
to
do
it.
the engraving before they dip it in like the lacquer bath.
Oh, okay. So that's the epic patina on that.
Yeah,
yeah.
this is like Survivor
Yeah.
patina.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pistons in like.
Oh, wow.
So they have.
You don't know the
after a while,
musician
they
side of me.
deteriorate.
They just
Same
think,
thing with
yeah,
the motor,
yeah.
and then, so I had to get those
Yeah.
redone, and that's why I just redid
You
the
were,
whole
you were a
motor.
music
So, like,
teacher, right?
I was, yeah.
Yeah.
And I play
Yeah.
on weekends and stuff.
Right, oh yeah.
You know?
It's incredible.
Yeah.
That's
You want
amazing.
to play something?
Yeah, let's play.
What do you want to play? Like blues?
Yeah, let's do a blues.
What key of F?
Sure.
What do you know? Straight. Yeah, there we go.
runs
Yeah,
it.
count it off.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Got it, bro.
Yeah, I'm running out of steam. I love it. Jerry, you sound great, man. You're great to come and play with
Right
you,
on.
man.
Let's
That's
make
awesome.
some music.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh.
Can we get you guys on retainer? Play like
Yeah.
24/7 while
That was-
We'll work for Hot Rod Park.
Yeah.
A couple other things. If you follow social media, the Green 32 Roadster did sell semi-private.
Yeah.
Privately, as in it wasn't for sale. A friend of ours, or a customer of ours, and has become friendly with, bought the Roadster. He was shopping for quite a while. Didn't know we were going to sell that Roadster.
He actually him and I were joking yesterday. He sent us a message, said, "Do you have any perfectly shitty 32 Roadsters for sale?" And I said, "I have this shiny 32 Roadster that will probably sell." He's like, I think that'll work.
Yeah, so he follows the channel, he watches every video, and we're very fortunate with our business model. He and I were talking yesterday evening when we were hanging out, and just discussing the car some more. And it was kind of like I don't know, not thinking about it, but it's like the best deal with buying an old car. Like, we show from the day we find a car, everything about it and everything we do to the car, and we're not trying to sell it to, like, Brian wasn't getting sold the car because we didn't know he was even interested.
Yeah.
So, like, we're showing everything we're doing, and then he, like, is following it all this time, and then once he was interested in buying it, then it was like he went back and rewatched everything. So, like, there's nothing to hide. It's not like a used car salesman where, like, we're hiding something. Like, I show all this stuff.
Or just the unknown.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
So, yeah, so we've shown everything we know about the car. We've talked about it far beyond him before he went to buy it. So he was like, I've rewatched the videos. In fact, he had a sheet he printed out with, like, everything done to the car on it. He's like, is that all correct on it? And I corrected him on a couple little things. But, like, so it was like, for him and anyone else we've sold a car, they know, and we sold beautiful. The gentleman in Germany had watched every video. He knew everything about the car. So, like, it's pretty sweet. And now, like, I've always been overly honest when I sell an old car, especially a modified one, of everything that's done. I try to be as honest as I can. Now that it's on video form, I just go, I can't remember, but just watch the video.
It's all there.
We showed everything. So he's excited to get the car and have it just as is and start using it. And we discussed some of the things I would do if I kept the car longer. So, which is really flattering that he values or likes what we did and values my opinion on how, if I keep the car forever, here's some things I had thought would be neat. So we discussed, like, if he wanted to change the look of the car but not cut into the car, he could have, like, an aluminum louvered hood top made and give it that early dry lakes kind of look where the guys were running those, and with leather straps, or
drop axle to drop the front a little bit.
He said he wanted to maybe lower it a little bit, and he's already got ideas of doing a chopped, because the windshield's chopped, a black chopped convertible top, and some different, and tonneau cover, and we actually pulled out the original tonneau cover from the DeLorean Roadster, laid it on the floor, and he got to see what, like, a real, like, one done back in the day looks like, and he was like, oh, this is amazing, and so it was really cool. I like when a customer that's local, or local enough they can come see the car and talk about everything. It's much better, because I always have anxiety with selling a car overseas, or that the person hasn't physically seen the car, because you think you've shown everything, but, like, he can walk up on it and see every chip, every defect himself, so I don't feel like he's going to get the car and visually there's something that he didn't know about or see. So that part's really good.
Yesterday was pretty cool. So Brian is a pretty well-known jazz trumpet player, and our good friend Jerry, who does upholstery now full-time, is a jazz sax player. And the two of them have known each other online but never met in person. And Jerry's actually going to be redoing the seat in the car for Brian, because he's a very tall fellow. He's actually taller than I am.
He has to, before he can drive the car, not to interrupt, he needs a seat done. So we're trying to coordinate us getting the car done, and I'm short, so I need to test drive the car for a little while to make sure that it's all sorted for Brian. But then Jerry also needs to be making a seat so that Brian can drive it right away. So it's like, it's a little, I don't love the way we're doing it, because I'm not going to get to drive it as much as I'd liked, but because once he puts that seat in, I'm probably not going to be able to see over the steering wheel anymore.
I could always test drive it too.
That's true.
You have your resident tall fellow.
Yeah, there we go. But anyway, sorry.
Jerry and Brian actually brought their trumpet and saxophone, and if you watch, this is coming out on Sunday. On Tuesday, if you watch the Week in Life video, they played a song for us in the parts building. Like, the two of them just jammed together, and it was kind of one of the coolest things that's christened the new building. That's the coolest thing that's happened in there.
It was super cool, because these two guys, again, they've never played together before, so
Yeah.
it's very cool when you. And Jerry's actually was like for his career before he went full time with the upholstery thing, was a music teacher.
Yep.
So he like literally his life has revolved around music his whole for his whole life, career, whatever. And so the two of them got together and they did, like, did you hear them? They were like, do you want to do blah blah blah, whatever the tune is?
Yeah.
And he goes, in a tune of F or whatever, and like, yeah. And then all of a sudden Jerry just starts like 1, 2, 3, and it was like they've been playing together forever, and they were just going back and forth. It was really cool. Kind of neat. That was in front of like all those 32s and all that stuff.
There's a bunch of cool clips that Matt posted on social media. Just
Yeah.
It was so neat to watch.
So very cool. So now we have this idea. Those guys were throwing an idea together, and we've talked about it for a while.
IronTrap jazz ensemble.
Well, yeah, but we've been talking about for a while doing we're trying to get everything set up here and organized in a manner that maybe we'll do a little open house or picnic or a little party, but not a huge bash, more of just like local people, and we're not going to have 3,000 people come here. So but the two of them were like, it would be awesome, we could like play on top or play in the shop and get a few jazz guys together and just jam. And I'm like, dude, that would be amazing. Like, what would be cooler than having a bunch of people with hot rods show up, hang out, grill, have them play some old time jazz. And these guys are what I love. I nerded out on it. They were both playing vintage instruments.
Yeah.
So I think Brian's trumpet was 32 or 35.
No, it was 30. It was newer, quote unquote, than the 32. I think he said 5 years.
Oh, okay.
So it was like late 30s, early 40s, I think.
Yeah, and he played it for years with the patina, and then he had it fully restored.
Yep.
Jerry had a 50s
51, I think.
saxophone that was like original patina, quote unquote, which is actually an instruments, again, back to what we talked about with the perfectly shitty. Like, sometimes instruments like having the original finish on it, and engraving is as important as a car with original paint that's aged. So I was kind of nerding out on that because Jerry was talking about how he found it, how it's very rare, and all of us in the room were into the same thing. So like I instantly gravitated to that. And that. So again, to parlay into it, if the week in the life there's going to be, we filmed like all of that. So it's pretty cool. If you enjoy that kind of stuff, you might.
This week's Week in the Life is probably one of the coolest because the video, actually today, if you're listening to this, head to YouTube. There's a cool video. We went on a bomb run, picked up 2 cars, or a car and a body, and we filmed some like just travel stuff that we've never really done before. Matt and I, bomb run across the Midwest and back, and then all the stuff with the two of them playing jazz. So it's kind of a very eclectic week in the life of.
But it's
very
the real.
different.
This is how our weeks have always been, somewhat. It's just we didn't always film that because we were just doing proper videos. So it's a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Being able to share the lifestyle side of it. I'm thankful that our channel has got big enough and people follow what we do rather than just coming here for like a, how to do juice break swap.
Yeah.
So like now we're able to share all the fun stuff that we do. That's just like, this is just our life, and it's really cool. Pouring coffee here into my cup.
Alrighty, it is Monday morning. I figured I'd wrap up this week in the life of today because we had some visitors this weekend. We had a gentleman stop by with a local estate. He's helping clean out some stuff. So I think this week, so in the next video, next week in the life of, we're gonna go visit him. I guess his uncle was a bit of a hoarder, had some early Ford stuff. So he visited and showed us some photos. So Matt and I are gonna try and make some time this week to go see him. But another local person hit up Matt and said, hey, I'm getting out of the flathead stuff. I have some extra parts left over. I'm gonna bring them by and see if you would like them. So it's always nice when people bring stuff to us. It saves us from having to go get it or drive around or ship it. So we got some goodies dropped off. 2 8BA flathead intakes. This one's an Offie. This one is not marked. I'm not sure who was making them, but this one's brand new, never used. Pair of Hollies, a high torque Powermaster high torque starter, and 2 Superior, I think they're Superior wheels. Cool gold flake, nice small wheels, 4-spoke, and some air cleaners. So nothing really crazy, but it's just nice when people bring things to us. Model 8 Roadster is still for sale. A gentleman came and looked at it Friday. He's just unsure of what he wants, so he has to do some thinking on it. So let's head to the shop next door. We'll see what Matt and Steve got done this week, or last week, this week, and we'll wrap up the video. You get anything accomplished this week?
Yeah, actually, kind of did.
Probably more this weekend than this week. This week was a little hectic.
This week was hectic. I think I only put in like a matter of 3 hours over a week between visitors, traveling, and everything.
Every
else.
time you would get started, someone would walk in the door, you're like, ah.
It was a mess. So Saturday, I spent like half a day Saturday, and then Sunday, probably same thing, like half a day or a day. Got the so future video almost moving along, but got a bunch of the trim holes all filled here for the lower trim, and the emblems, got them all metal finished, pretty happy with that. And then I cut out the whole center of the hood, which was super scary. I'm glad nobody was here. I could just work on it quietly. And I got that going in a pretty good direction. It's got the shape back in it, just got to pick and file a little bit, some low areas. And now I'm getting ready to shave some of this area down here. So we'll show that whole video coming up. So getting on the home stretch with the Mercury, and just dealing with Moon's back.
Yeah, how's he doing?
I haven't been sleeping a lot because he's been trying to chew at his tail is his new thing. So now we've got painter's tape, gauze, paper towels, all kinds of things wrapped around his tail, and he's still in the middle of the night. I'm waking up, and he figured out how to get, with his cone on, get to his tail somehow. So now I've got this.
Did they make a bigger cone?
I tried making one in the middle of the night, Friday night, and he just proceeded to walk around the house and bang into everything like a Sims character, like just bang, bang, bang. So now I got this contraption. I tape around his tail. I should show it. But the painter's tape has been the good trick. The bright yellow painter's tape. Because then in the middle of the night I can look and see the painter's tape still, and if he's got it off. So he's healing up good. It's just his tail, because it's an open wound, it's been a little difficult. It's healing up quickly, but it's just, I have to keep an eye on him, because Saturday morning I turned my back for like 3 seconds while he was outside with no cone on, and he chewed one of his stitches open, was bleeding all over the freaking place. And so yeah, so it's been a little stressful this week. The end of the week was not too bad. The weekend got a mess.
So Steve's also finishing up. He's in his typical nap time position.
Yeah.
Finishing up wiring, putting the gauges in. I just went to Napa and got headlights and a voltage regulator, and I'm going to try and finish up frame rails next week. So making progress in here. So thanks guys for watching. We appreciate it. We really enjoy doing these week in the life of videos because there's all kinds of craziness going on. So yeah, travel, we had a jazz ensemble. It was a crazy week. So thanks guys for watching. We appreciate it. Catch you later.